Hi everyone, my name is Junon Macéus. I have a health science background, and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy: How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is a commentary about a video by Jordan Peterson, and the title, I wrote it down here, is The Woman Every Man Wants. And I watched this video about a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was pretty good. I think that Jordan Peterson, well, he's a Canadian clinical psychologist. He's well known, controversial. I like most of the content that he produces, and so actually I've been sent that video to a couple of people that I thought would be interested in this topic. And after I watched it and I sort of thought about it some more, I realized that what he presents doesn't really reflect what is happening between men and women. Essentially, the video is explaining the importance for a woman to have good sexual boundaries. So, if a woman is able to say no to the sexual advances of a potential partner, it signifies or it signals the fact that she's a high status woman, and the man is more likely to take her seriously and wanting her to be his wife and the mother of his children. And I mean, I've written about the romantic relations for many years now, more than 10 years. I realized that there's some aspect that are not really talked about. Now, what's actually going on, I would say, based on my own experience, is that if you ask the average man, in terms of, and if they encounter 100 women within a day, how many they're actually attracted to and they would have sex with, they would say on average 80% of the women they meet. Now, if you ask the same question to a woman, uh, in that they encounter 100 men during a day, they would say maybe at best they would have sex with 20% of the men. So already, most women are not that attracted to most men. They're more selective. And the reason being is that although, yes, I do emphasize the fact that a person could be more right brain dominant, so more have a more feminine way of interacting in relationship versus masculine or being left brain dominant. What happens is that if you look at the population, most women are right brain dominant. So it's sort of an exaggerated female trait that it will display. By contrast, yet there are men who are right brain dominant. So in other words, they have more feminine way of interacting. But I would say that most men are left brain dominant. So again, the fact that also they have higher testosterone levels, so it sort of exacerbates the problem. Now, what happens, let's say, if someone is right brain dominant and also is a woman, is whenever they're thinking about a sexual encounter, they have to take into consideration there's so many aspects of it because their whole brains are involved in that decision. So when a woman wants to have sex with a man, she's thinking, okay, do I feel safe with him, in terms of what's going to happen long term, if let's say I get pregnant? Because when you think about it, in the history of humankind, it's only recently that women had more control over their reproduction. A woman who has sex with the wrong man, or a man who's not, a father or husband material, means that she will get pregnant. She's the one who has to carry the baby, especially the first months of a child's life, the first few years. They're more need of care, and usually it's the woman who has to provide this, like the constant care and attention to that young child, whereas a man is more free to move around. So a woman who is not good at really evaluating so many aspects of a relationship before having sex with a man, she's the one who has to bear the burden of making this mistake. By contrast, the average man doesn't take into consideration the context of the sexual encounter, because sex is more fulfilling for them, because a man can sort of just focus on one thing and ignore all the other aspects of a relation. So they can easily have out of context sex. So they can, if you look at their brains, if someone who's left brain dominant, they can compartmentalize the sex versus the other aspects of the relationship. So, for example, if you were to ask the average man to rate a sexual encounter, they usually will say that the encounter was good, very good, or excellent. It's very rare that a woman who's, again, on top of that, like right brain dominant, would actually say that. For a woman to really enjoy a sexual relationship or encounter, it has to be really within the right context. So she has to feel safe. She has to feel like, okay, if I get pregnant, he's going to take care of me. I don't feel that this person is cheating on me. He's really, faithful to me. I'm not afraid of getting pregnant. I'm not afraid of catching disease. Most men don't go through that whole list of sort of like checkpoints to know if they should have sex with a woman. So as I was talking to a man recently, he was saying that sex is like pizza. It's good, very good, or excellent. You will not hear a woman say that. So even in terms of sexual fantasies, and actually Jordan Peterson pointed out in terms of pornography aimed at a female audience, is that he was saying that usually there's a long foreplay where the woman keeps on saying no to the man, and then ultimately when the man decides to commit, that's when you have this spectacular sort of like love making session. But I don't think women think like that, in the sense that it's not that the woman is saying no is no, so that they can in a way like show their status, so that ultimately the men will take her seriously. The no has to do with she is trying to create the right environment for her to enjoy sex. So the reason that a woman will say no to sex, even in a committed long-term relationship, is because of the fact that there are other factors that distracting her. So in other words, if she has a sick child, or if they have financial issues, if let's say there's a member of a family they had a fight with, or they have the discord, all this makes sure that it makes it very difficult for her to focus on the sexual sort of like moment. So a woman is easily distracted. A man who's a very good lover is someone who can really look at a situation holistically and ask himself the question, is there anything in her life or in the environment that could distract her or make her unable to really relax and enjoy the love making? So what I'm saying is that it's not that a woman wants to be picky, it's that the way the average woman's brain is wired, and also has the fact again that because she's right brain dominant, because there are men who are also right brain dominant and also are particular about if they can have sex in a particular environment. So in other words, it's very difficult for women to sort of like block what is going in their lives and just have sex, compared to men. So the sexual sort of like interaction is a lot more fulfilling for the man compared to the woman. Because when you think about it, why so many men have a difficult time getting a woman to have sex with them? If sex was really fulfilling, they would not have to do that. They don't have to convince the woman to do that. It's not because she thinks she's high status. In other words, if you actually hear a man who says that he slept with a lot of women, yes, they were talking about maybe a man of high status, but this man most likely did not sexually fulfill these women, because he has to really understand one woman very well to actually fulfill her. Yeah, if let's say he has money, he has fame, these women may want to sleep with him because they want to say, well, I slept with this celebrity. But I would be very surprised if I actually surveyed these women if they were really fulfilled during that interaction. The odds of a woman experiencing an orgasm the right way is very small. So in other words, women have such a small window of possibility of being sexually fulfilled. That's why she says no most of the time. And even when she says yes, it's not because she really is into it, but maybe she feels kind of pressured. She wants to show appreciation. So the times that even a woman has sex with a man, it's not because she really wants to have sex. And the other aspect that that's rarely talked about is that a woman often will even pretend to enjoy sex more than she actually does, because she knows that a man's ego is very fragile when it comes to their sexual performance. So a woman is sort of like almost forced to pretend to be sexually fulfilled more than she actually is in reality. And a woman often may, pretend to have an orgasm. You don't see like a man on a regular basis fake orgasms to protect a woman's sexual ego. Women don't walk around asking themselves, like a large percentage, asking themselves whether or not they're great lovers. No, but men do, because they know deep down that their sexual performance is questionable. So, and what I'm getting at is that yes, Jordan Peterson points to the fact that a woman needs to be able to set proper boundaries, but not only sexually, but I think she should have proper boundaries in a number of areas of her life, whether with her friendship or her family, even at work, so that she can be taken seriously. So then, in other words, if let's say you always say yes, then people don't know if you really mean it. But if you say no most of the time, when you say yes, actually it's being taken seriously. So what I'm getting at is that the reason that a woman says no to sex, it's not because she's thinking in the back of her head, or consciously or unconsciously, that she wants to show her status. It has to do with the fact that, generally speaking, most women are not sexually fulfilled, because for her to be able to enjoy sex, it has to be in an environment that allows her to totally let go, to be feel totally safe and feel understood. She doesn't have any worries in the back of her head to really be present, and that rarely happens. It's not the same for men. Men can disconnect from other aspects of their lives and just enjoy the sexual interaction. It's not the same. So because of that fact, that's why women, even after they get married, even if they're attracted to their husbands, they might often say no to sex. And it's not to control the man or bribe them in any way, shape, or form. Is that it's not possible for her to enjoy sex in an environment where there's not a sense of peace, and she doesn't feel that she can be safe and totally be present for that interaction. So I think that this is something that we rarely talk about, and I think needs to be addressed. So although again, I really respect the content that Dr. Jordan Peterson puts in his different videos, but I think in this point, I don't think that he has grasped the core of the issue when it comes to why most women say no to sex compared to men, because I don't think we're looking at the world or experiencing the sexual interaction the same way. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this commentary about Dr. Jordan Peterson's video. And again, I'm going to read the title. It was "The Woman Every Man Wants." I'm going to put the link in the description below, and because I think that it's important to have these type of discussions. So if you like this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button. Also click on the notification bell to be notified of other videos I'm going to be making. Subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.